Humanity is no longer spoilt for choice. Until a few decades ago, we relied solely on unsustainable and limited natural resources to power our life. Now, we can utilise the elements around us: the wind, the sea, and the sun. This is all a move in the right direction, but is it enough? Solar panels absorb around 20% of the light that hits them, only enough to power an average household for one day. We are pushing to develop more efficient solar technologies, looking to nature for inspiration. An evolutionary biologist from Sheffield has spent her career looking at improving our understanding of how butterflies can help innovate our solar technology.
I'm Dr. Nicola Nadaeu. I'm a lecturer at the University of Sheffield, and I do research on butterfly scale nanostructures.
Nicola is working with physicist Dr. Andrew Parnell, who uses nanotechnology to create new materials inspired by structures that we see in nature.
My name's Dr. Andy Parnell. I'm a physicist at the University of Sheffield in the Department of Physics and Astronomy. My research is interdisciplinary, so it looks at the crossover between physics, materials and biological physics.
Their research focuses on butterflies because they are unique. They can manipulate the light and heat absorbed to work best for them, and this is because of the nanostructures on their wing. If we can understand how these structures change the light, and then how the butterfly themselves produce them, it gives us the opportunity to design more efficient solar panels that absorb even more light.
So some of the structures on the surface of the butterfly scale act to increase the absorption of light, so cause less light to be reflected from the surface of the wing. So they have these really intricate structures that are essentially kind of a parallel array of ridges on the scale with gaps in between, and those gaps help to absorb more light.
There are tricks that nature uses to make what we call anti-reflection coatings. They're really good at breaking up the surface of a solar cell so you get more light into the solar cell and you get a higher efficiency.
The butterfly wings have areas of black, which are anti-reflective to avoid catching the attention of predators in some species of butterfly. The wing nanostructures are designed to maximise the light absorbed while minimising the amount of light that's reflected, just like what a solar panel is designed to do. The wing is covered in a mesh-like surface of parallel ridges. Think of it as lots of minuscule hills and dips with lots of little holes throughout it. These hills and dips capture and trap the light and then channel it into these little holes in the scales. This is where the light is scattered, just like when you shine a light through a crystal ball and it diffracts into lots of different colours.
There's a lot of infrared radiation that comes through and is bouncing around in the atmosphere that we want to not go into our solar cell because it will cause heat up and it can cause thermal damage essentially. So you could envisage making a solar cell that has a nice anti-reflection coating with a sort of dimpled approach to it, and then a layered structure like that reflects certain infrared heat, making a solar cell that live longer and are more sturdy.
The reason that we're interested in the genetics is that if we can understand mechanistically how these structures are produced, we might find better ways of replicating them. Because at the moment it's really quite highly labour intensive to reproduce these nanostructures, and we don't have good ways of doing that on a large scale. So if we can kind of biochemically understand how nature makes them, we might find better ways of replicating them.
Science is important for our future. It's never been more important for our future at the moment, given the state of the world in terms of our energy needs. We only ever use more energy on the planet, and if we need to completely decouple from carbon, then we need to look to renewable materials, renewable sources.
Manufacturing anti-reflective technology inspired by butterfly scales would allow them to absorb more light, all while avoiding damage from overheating. This will make them more efficient and longer lasting, reducing their long-term cost and increasing the amount of energy they can yield. This crossover between biology and physics helps develop efficient alternatives to fossil fuels, mitigating the effects of climate change using ideas from nature itself.